This is Shane, and this will be my Akroma Angel of Fury deck. Alright, so this is my general, Akroma Angel of Fury. This is the first deck I built, mono red, which is what I usually play in any format. I chose her because obviously she can't be countered, plus she is very difficult to deal with once she hits the board with the protection from blue and white. And with the fire breathing and trample, she can get in there pretty quick for sometimes 2 hits and you're dead. So the morph, it's kind of relevant if you're playing against green. And you can morph her out earlier than normal and get her out turn 6 on the unmorph, so still relevant. And no, she doesn't have haste. Quit asking. This is my mana base. I believe there's about 30 mountains in here, and I'll just get to the non-basics real quick to see what they do. Here we just have the 2 cycling lands for red, cycling. Forgotten Cave, Smoldering Crater. Here, Valakut, you know, why not? It still taps for red, plus late mountains is going to do some damage to people. This was just cute. Just taking away land walking, you know, hardly ever relevant, but sometimes you don't want your lands to tap for double mana when you'll see these artifacts I have come out. This is kind of nice and fun. You get to shuffle your library. Some people try to deck you with tunnel vision after they put something on the bottom of your deck, so you can just shuffle your deck up to get around that. Plus, if they ever get your general to the bottom, say with Hallowed Burial or something, you can at least shuffle it up and try to get it back to the top. This one's pretty awesome in, I don't know, monocolored especially, but being able to put an extra basic land into play a turn if you have them is pretty fun. There's Temple of the False God, pretty good staple for most of my decks. Same with Ancient Tomb, just getting 2 mana for 1 land is pretty fantastic. Strip Mine Wasteland, just to take care of troublesome lands. And then Thawing Glaciers, just to search out basic lands every turn. Right here is just going to be some pretty standard artifact acceleration. Soul Ring. I like the ones that can try to tap for red, so that's why I've kind of chosen these. The Iron Mirror, choose red here, he'll give you red, possibly turn into a creature if you need it. The Heart of Ramos, you get a red out of it, plus you can sack it and get another red. And the Thran Dynamo, just for higher acceleration. These next 2 cards are my man doublers, the Gauntlet of Might and the Gauntlet of Power, and plus give your creatures +1. Very good in monocolored decks. Right now, red, you know, kind of has trouble dealing with some things, so you have to take advantage where you can, and they have that with non-basic land destruction. So I have both of those guys. I usually try not to lock people out with them, but, you know, if they have a land like a Gaia's Cradle, you know, you want to take care of that. Same with these 2, the Blood Moon and the Magus of the Moon, to take care of trouble lands. Right here, there's usually a lot of artifacts in EDH, so these next cards will take care of those. Shattering Spree, the Buyback. This one is recursion. I mean, you can do it several times, and obviously the damage. Aladdin here, he'll steal their artifacts, which people don't mind as much as long as you can kill Aladdin and get your artifacts back. So, and then this guy just does the same thing, gets bigger while he does it. Goblin Welder, just a fantastic card. I mean, you'll see some cards coming up that he synergizes with, and obviously if people kill your artifacts, he can get them back for you, so he's pretty fun to play. And you can hit opponents' cards. I mean, if they get something out that's a trouble, you can switch it in their graveyard for one of their artifacts that's less trouble. I like her a lot, because I hate blue, so she can obviously kill blue stuff. And she has a little Incinerate ability here, and then she has a big Inferno ability down here. She could be kind of considered one of the first Planeswalkers before Planeswalkers. Here's kind of my MVP of the deck. This is from Portal 3 Kingdoms. Her name is Diochin Artful Beauty. And what she actually does is before your combat phase, since that's Portal 3, you can tap her to destroy a creature. And then the way it reads is that you choose an opponent to destroy a creature. Now the cool thing is that you don't have to choose the same opponent whose creature you destroyed. So you could have another opponent destroy a creature of that same person that you destroyed. Plus, if she has like lightning greaves on her or something, you know, she won't be destroyed by her own ability. So that's kind of nice. Kumano, these are my creatures with benefits. He can ping guys and exile them if they die. Plus you'll see I have a Basilisk collar in here, so it kind of turns him into a little machine gun. He's kind of cool. I mean, it gives red an out to hit enchantments for the most part, maybe even planeswalkers, albeit randomly, but you know, it's still a fun effect if you can get there. And if you have your own Darksteel Ingot out, that's your target, and if it happens to roll that way, then at least it won't be destroyed. This guy's fantastic, awesome, I love him. I mean, the Wither effect is great in the format, plus his untap ability to wither somebody down another 5 counters is incredible. I mean, I didn't even know about this guy until EDH, and I've loved him ever since. Same with this guy. I mean, just another huge dragon that can kill every other dragon or whatever else is out there flying, plus do a little pyroclasm on the ground. So he's fantastic. This was kind of a gift from God, I guess, as far as a mono red deck goes, to get some kind of colorless removal for obviously whatever. So he goes in most EDH decks probably. Sundering Titan, kind of a card people don't like to see, but obviously with a monocolored deck he's pretty fantastic and hitting most other people's lands. These next cards, red, I don't run a lot of just straight up burn, just because the creatures you deal with in EDH are usually bigger than what red has to offer with burn. So these cards right here will kill them outright, destroy target creature. I mean, also hits artifact or land. This one destroys target creature, destroy target creature, and destroy target creature. So I really needed that in the deck. I believe these next few cards here are kind of ways to deal with lots of creatures at once. So you have the Pyrohemia that can stick around as long as you have the mana for it, or the creatures in play, and it doesn't target people, so you can hit people that maybe have Shroud. This is red's kind of Wrath of God, the earlier Wrath, where you can destroy all their creatures, but they're going to get little 1/1s. But of course, if you have Pyrohemia out, then you can just kill their little 1/1s anyway, so it doesn't matter. And Starstorm killing creatures at instant speed is pretty awesome. I got 2 Planeswalkers, Koth and Chandra. Probably don't need a lot of explanation. War's Toll. Now here's another card that came about because of EDH, but what it says is that just my opponents, whenever they tap a land for mana, they have to tap all their lands, and if a creature ever attacks, all their creatures have to attack. So obviously it's going to take care of people that want to play counter spells and play stuff on their turn, and just anybody else. I mean, if you tap and play something on your turn, you're tapped out for the rest of the turn. Wild Ricochet, there's a lot of choices as far as copying spells, redirecting spells. This one does both. You copy it and redirect it, so it's the one and only I run. Gratuitous Violence I like a lot because all your creatures obviously deal double damage, but with all the pinging and the heretics and the things that can kill stuff and do damage, they're also dealing double damage that way. So that's why I chose that, say, over that Rage Reflection. Right here are the 2 board sweepers for red. I mean, to take care of obvious things that red can't take care of, but a lot of decks play these anyway. This guy, obviously to go get yourself a land, plus if you have Goblin Welder out, flashing him in and out to get lands and drawing cards every turn. These 2 guys are red's way of dealing with, say, pro-white creatures, like the white Akroma. And of course anything else, but you definitely want ways to deal with things that could have protection from red. Here's the collar I talked about that you can put on your creatures, and when you ping them, you know, they'll just die. Really want a Goblin Sharpshooter for that. I wanted this card. I mean, life gain's always fun, but then you can always shuffle your stuff back in after you've played it or it got destroyed, and you know, just do it all over again. So I like that effect. The Lightning Greaves, I mean, I think that's pretty standard as far as giving your guys haste. And like I said, if you have Diochin out, you know, and use her ability, then she can't be hit by her own ability with that. Crucible, get your lands back. The Dalkin Warrior, it's one of those spells you probably always wanted to play in Standard, but could just never find the deck for it. It's awesome in EDH. It's an Akroma deck, so she gets her memorial, even though I think that's the Wrath one on there. But, I mean, this card's just incredibly awesome every time anybody plays it. I mean, your creatures fly, first strike, vigilance, you know all the rules. Plus, it's awesome with my Akroma because she already has protection from blue and white. This also gives her red and black now, so now only green can get her. Then once you played all your spells, you need to refill your hand. You want to get the draw 7s, Wheel of Fate, Wheel of Fortune, Memory Jar. This one's not a draw 7, but this guy is. If he hits you, another Wheel of Fortune type effect. And then Mind's Eye, just another great card draw in a multiplayer format. Then finally, an X spell. I stayed away from a lot of the X spells just because they didn't recur and their effects weren't even that great. But this one does. I mean, it exiles a creature when you kill it, and it will shuffle back in after it's used. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks for watching CMDR Decks. Please favorite and like.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.